Hey guys, what's going on? Back with another game review today, or tonight. It's 12 o'clock at night. But that game is Mirror's Edge for the Xbox 360. It's on PlayStation 3 as well. But I don't have a PlayStation 3 yet. Next week, I'll probably have one. So, let's get right into it. The story, you play as Faith, who is that. First thing off, before I even get into this, the cutscenes in this game look like insurance commercials. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but the little cartoons. If you play it, you'll know what I mean. So the story is you play as Faith, and you're a runner, and it's like a group of that goes, an anti, I guess government group, that, and you go against like the corruption of the city and the city officials and stuff, and you go from place to place doing like little missions. That's about it for the story. Like I said, I'm not a big story guy, but it's good because it's like, it progresses throughout the story, throughout the game, I should say, and there's a couple twists, I guess, but yeah. So the gameplay I find really fun. Some people don't, but I guess to each his own, but it's really fun. You really haven't played anything like it. It's a first person adventure, like jumping game. The closest thing that I would compare it to would be Prince of Persia, the jumping and like the climbing and the jumping from this to that and hooking onto this, and that's the closest I would compare it to, but that's third person, and yeah, and sometimes I'm not gonna say this is funner, but it's cool the first person point of view, especially when you fall. When you fall, you like your stomach, at least for me, it bottoms out and stuff. But it's really fun. The only thing that I don't like about it is, which I usually don't mind it, but in this game sometimes it just really bothers me. The trial and error of this game is unlike anything I think I've ever played. Excuse me. I mean, there are times where you have to do the same thing over again like 10 times until you do it correctly, and it gets really frustrating, especially when you like charge up to like guys with guns, and like you have to wait for their gun to turn pink, then you can steal it from them. If you're off by like a second, they hit you and just shoot you and you're dead, and then you have to do it all over again, and it gets extremely frustrating. I mean, where you're just like, you know what, fuck it, and I'm turning it off. So that just bothers me a lot. Excuse me. Frozen water. It's really cold here in New York. I'm literally in my car. So that's the only gripe that I do have with it, which is why I think a lot of people were saying about Prince of Persia how they don't like that you can't die, but I personally don't mind that, because in this game anyway you can die, but you'll never get game over. So you might as well just hit a button and it saves you. Or like the Sands of Time where it just reverse time. That'd be good in this game, but they don't have it, so I'm not gonna cry about it. But it can get very, very frustrating. I mean, but other than that, it's really cool jumping from stuff, jumping from high buildings, and running away from people. It gets really fun. The presentation is fantastic. I mean, yeah, it does look like an insurance commercial on the cutscenes, but everything else just looks really cool. It has that industrial, artsy look to the city. It's very, it's bland, but in a, like, very artistic way. There's just these bright colors, but it just looks very dark and cold, and just there's not really much personality to the city, if that makes sense, but it looks really good. The audio, the sounds of the game are really good. When she runs faster, you hear it on the ground, you hear her breathe. When she climbs up a pole, you hear like the skin go against the metal, and it just sounds really good. The lighting in the game is also awesome. When you're climbing up a pole, you know, you'll see like the tint in front of you from lights on the metal and like on the paint, and it looks really good. It's a really good looking game. Um, excuse me. One thing I don't like about this, she kind of she's, I guess now that I look on the box, it's not, but when you're running, sometimes you look down, it looks like she's wearing sandals, and you know, you can't wear sandals while you're climbing up stuff, but now that I'm looking on the box, they look like, you know, wrestling shoes or something. But yeah, I mean, the game is good. It has some flaws, and I think the second one, I think EA is definitely onto something here, because I think they have a really good franchise going with this. The total, there's 9 missions. It's not a very long game. Is there replayability? Yeah, maybe, just to see. You can do speed runs, which is really cool. Man, I don't know why I'm doing that. But, yeah, I can see some replay value here. There's not online, I don't think. I haven't tried it, at least. There's just leaderboards. Oh, man. So, yeah. In the end, I would give it probably, I guess, 7.5 out of 10. Just the frustration after a while just kills it, and you really, any, you know, immersion that you have in the game, it gets taken away by dying so much. So that kind of bums me out. But I can't wait for the second one, and if anybody out there is looking for a game that's different, this is definitely it. I mean, you haven't played anything like this. So if you're on the fence about it, I say it's definitely worth a rent, if not a buy. So that's my opinion. Let me know yours, and I'll see you guys later.